They got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. The phone and affection. I summon and dumb it.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. I know a lot of people have been asking for this video, so we're gonna just get right into it. I don't have many updates on the Mustang. At this point, we're kind of in limbo, just waiting on stuff, but let me show you something cool that did come in the other day. Just gonna give you a sneak peek, and that's all you get to see. Okay, so we're still waiting for the exhaust side of the turbo, so when that comes in, I'll actually show you guys the entire turbo, but other things I did was I actually polished the Aldo Weld's air-to-water intercooler. So this just came in like a brushed aluminum finish, just kind of your raw aluminum, and they scuffed it up a little bit. But I took some sandpaper. If you guys want to know how I did it, I'll let you know in the next video. Comment down below. But I did a pretty decent job, I would say. You can see that the metal on top, this is all aluminum, but the end caps here are a different metal than this because I did the exact same process. But you can see this center section where the actual cores are a little bit different aluminum because you see it's like a little hazy. But anyways, I ended up polishing that out. I thought that would look cool, even though you won't see too much of it. And I actually did the lower intercooler pipe. So not bad for doing it by hand. None of it was machined polish because I don't have a machine for this type of stuff, but I did it all by hand. But comment down below and I can show you guys how I did it in the next video. But I think it came out pretty good. So as you guys know, the pan has been leaking on the Turbo 400. So I put another new pan gasket in it. And this whole time I haven't had the temp sensor hooked up because I needed to tap the pan. And I didn't want to pull the pan before. So I pulled the pan, went to put the temp sensor in, and actually found something wrong with the Turbo 400. So this plastic type electrical loom, this is some electrical loom that they put around electrical wires. They actually put that around the trans brake wire that was inside the Turbo 400. It pretty much runs along the little body that's in there. It's kind of hard to explain, but it runs along the body in there, but it's typically submerged in trans fluid. So the trans fluid had pretty much ate this plastic electrical loom, and it was stuck in the screen because that had dissolved off of the electrical wire, and then it was stuck in the little screen. Let me see if I can find it here. I threw it away the other day. Here's the old gasket. It's a mess in here, I'm telling you. Oh, there it is. So, look at that. Just want to keep you guys aware of this type of stuff. This was the electrical loom that was around the wire, and it was actually stuck way down inside this screen. And this screen is prior to the tube. It's kind of like your pickup tube inside an engine. This is your pickup tube for your trans fluid, goes in here. So that screen was getting clogged by this little electrical loom. I'm really lucky that we didn't ruin the transmission. So luckily I had an extra screen, pulled it out, replaced the screen, and then what I actually did was I redid the wire that ran to the trans brake. I redid that wire and then just wrapped heat shrink around it, obviously heated it up and heat shrunk it. So it kind of looks something like this wire, nice and tight, everything's protected. Inside the transmission, put the new screen on, new gasket. I tapped it for the actual trans temp gauge, so that's all good to go. But just something to be aware of, because if you guys don't know, when I was bringing the car back here, you have to press the trans brake button to get the car in reverse, and the reverse actually wasn't working. And so what it was that wire had got corroded because the electrical loom head came off of it, and that wire was submerged in fluid, and it totally ruined that wire. So we fixed that. Fixed the screen, got a new screen in there, new gasket, got the sensor in there, new wire, everything's good to go with the Turbo 400. Still waiting on the converter to come back, but I want to update you guys on the stock engine. Alright guys, now to the actual purpose of this video. A ton of people have been asking me for this. Shoot, back when I first bought this car, a lot of people were commenting about the tick, the piston slap, whatever these 2018, 2019 Mustangs had that no other Mustang had. Well, the tick that a lot of people hear on the 1819 Mustang is actually the direct injection up top. It sounds exactly like what you're saying, a tick. Now, what my car had and a lot of other people had was the actual piston slap coming from the oil pan, which you would hear, it was pretty prevalent on cold startups, and then as the car warmed up, it would get a little bit quieter. Shoot, sometimes it wouldn't even make the noise, but If you had put your phone down there, I have a video on it. A lot of people have videos on it. Riley, RP Productions had a video on it. It's very loud. It is very concerning hearing that sound coming from a brand new car. But Ford had stated, and they just came out with this a few months back, that that was a normal noise and it wouldn't affect the car. So when I turboed my Mustang, I knew I was going to build the motor eventually. I didn't want to take the car apart. I didn't want to take it in for warranty work. I wanted to turbo it, see how far we could push the motor, and if it blew, it blew. Luckily, nothing happened to my car. I never upgraded the oil pump gears or the sprocket. All that stuff was completely stock OEM from the factory. Never broke any of them. Sat on the two-step for 30 to 40 passes. Over-revved a few times, I'm sure. Nothing happened to my oil pump gears. So let's break down what happened to my 2018 Mustang GT motor after about 30 to 40 passes. About 30 of those being 8-second passes, the rest of them being 1/8 mile passes. And you guys will be really interested to hear what happened to my motor.
Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage, I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression is all that I wanted. A phone and affection, I summon it up. Summon it up it.
Okay guys, so I'm gonna read some stuff from Will at RPG. Huge shout out to him for working with me on this project and for taking the time to kind of give me an email, a little synopsis of what the motor breakdown looked like. But he starts with saying how exceptionally well the motor looked. The oil pump gears looked stressed, but they were not broken. They didn't have any cracks on them. They just had some stress wear to them. Now, I know a lot of people when they when they upgrade oil pump gears, they do this drop test. Well, here's the thing. You buy a set of like Boundary or some other MMR, some oil pump gears, drop them on the ground, tell me what happens. Guys, the oil pump gears are in there. They're surrounded. They're encased by a front engine cover. They're not hitting metal all the time from 6-foot drops, okay? Yes, they're seeing a lot of vibration. They're shaking in there. They're moving around, but they're not getting dropped from 6 feet. Hell, go drop your engine 10 feet and tell me what happens. So those tests are really inaccurate. I don't know why people do those. That is not how it works, okay? If you dropped a set of Boundary oil pump gears, I'm sure the same thing would happen. I know why people do it. They're saying that they're brittle, but go drop an aftermarket set of oil pump gears and tell me if the same thing happens. Anyways, my oil pump gears were full intact, no cracked, a little bit of stress on them, but no cracks, anything like that. Now, 2 cylinders had a loose piston to wall clearance, and that is where the ticking, slapping noise was coming from for the Gen 3 Coyote, which is pretty common, which also Ford had stated that it's normal for these engines to do that. Now, mine was 0.04 of an inch off on only 2 of them, and the rest were fine, which I find that kind of weird. I know he said Ford usually calls for a little bit tighter clearance of 1/1000 to 2/1000 of an inch in between the piston to wall clearance, but I had 2 cylinders that were 0.04 off. So I don't know if that has to do with the way they're assembling them or if it's their actual process of putting in the walls. I'm not sure what it is. Something with the lining on the walls. I know someone had talked about that before, but that is what was making the sound. It was 2 of my cylinder walls had a larger piston to wall clearance than the rest of them. So that's where the piston slap noise was coming from. But all my bearings, and I'm gonna drop some pictures, all my bearings were in perfect condition. There was no marring, no scratches, no wear marks on the bearings. They looked polished and perfect. They had the proper 2007 inch, I think is what he said. That's the proper clearance. And what he also saw, there was no signs of lifting heads. The gaskets looked in perfect condition. The car was never pushing coolant. So the stock heads with the stock head bolts, stock head studs, whatever you want to call it, were actually held down perfectly. So guys, these Gen 3 Coyotes are very, very strong. I know. People have had problems with them. People have taken their cars back under lemon law. They've had their cars bought back. Whatever the case may be, my car had 20,000 miles on it. Never opened. We never did head studs. We never did head gaskets. We never did oil pump gears. We never did the sprocket. We never did any of that. We kept it a completely stock sealed Coyote motor for this reason. I wanted to put 1,000, 1,100 wheel horsepower through the motor and see what it could take, because I wanted to prove what these Coyotes can do. And a lot of people have already proven them, but not as much with the Gen 3. A lot of people are worried about the Gen 3, but I'm here to tell you my Gen 3 was totally fine. Now, I am not saying you're gonna go out and push 1,000 horsepower through your car and you're not gonna blow it. I will tell you the reasons. There's 3 main reasons why my engine is as clean as it is and why it lasted as long as it is, or as long as it did. 3 main reasons, okay? Write these down. Tune. The tune was on point. John Lund Jr. himself tuned this car from day one. The tune was always on point. I was always data logging. I was always sending logs back to him, making sure everything looked good. I wanted to get his final say. I wanted to make sure that this tune was spot on. There was not one thing missing in the tune, and the tune was always spot on. If I had a check engine light, I wouldn't just go drive the car around. I would park the car, send him the check engine light, diagnose it, make sure we had it fixed before I go romping on the car. A lot of people drive around with check engine lights thinking it's no big deal. That means there's something going on. You need to get it checked out, whether it's mechanically or if it's tune related. A lot of the times it's probably mechanically related, but check that stuff out, guys. Don't just go driving your cars around with check engine lights. It's not normal. That's number 1. Tune, tune, tune. Have a good tuner. Make sure it's on point. Number 2, good fuel. I did run some pump E85 in this car, but for the most part, and when I did run pump E85, I had one of those cheap little testers, and I tested it all the time. But guess what? After that, Ignite E90, because I wanted the fuel to be consistent, and I wanted it to be actual E90, so I never had to worry about if we had good fuel or not. Good fuel can change the entire car, you guys. Going from 91 to 93, it's a big difference. Going from E85 to E90 from an actual company is a big difference. Pump E85 is not the same as Ignite E90. Good fuel is number 2. Number 3, frequent oil changes with good oil. Now, I don't buy into, I'm not going to say the specific brands, I don't buy into all that. I don't want to say specific brands. I just don't buy into any of that, okay? I buy good synthetic oil and I use it and I change it frequently. So I was probably changing mine every 3rd or 4th weekend because I wasn't getting enough miles on the car. However, in a given weekend, I was making 10 to 12, maybe 15 passes if I was there for 2 days. So I'll show you the exact oil I was using. Where is it? It's here somewhere. I know it's here somewhere. It's just good old Pennzoil. There it is. That's the oil I was using, guys. Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic 5W30 10 quarts with an OEM Ford filter. Nothing crazy. None of these special brands that cost a crazy amount of money. I think this is even cheaper than Ford Motorcraft oil, but I'm not saying this oil is the reason why, but I will say changing your oil frequently will help keep your engine lasting longer. Whether it's some fancy snake oil, or it's just regular good old synthetic oil, or if it's just regular Dino oil, it doesn't matter. Change it frequently, change it often, keep an eye on it. I was always, when I would drain the oil, I would always measure how much oil actually came out, and guess what? It was always 10 quarts. If it wasn't, well, you've got a problem, your engine's burning oil. 3 main things, guys, to keep any car. This is just not Coyotes. I just know that a lot of Coyote people wanted to see the breakdown of my motor because I had really tested it and they want to know if it really lasted. So we figure my car was making about 1,100 to 1,150 wheel horsepower. That's how I was able to go so fast. We had really good 60-foot times. That really helped the ET. But the car we figured is about making 11 to 1,150 wheel horsepower. Stock Gen 3 Coyote, stock heads, no oil pump gears, no aftermarket head gaskets, no aftermarket head studs. 3 things that helped that. Good tune, good fuel, and frequent oil changes. That's all there is to it, guys. Those are the main things. I'm telling you, it will make your car last longer. I don't care if it's a Hellcat, if it's a Corvette, if it's a Camaro. Those 3 things need to be spot on all the time. And I think people take advantage of that, and then when something happens, they want to blame the tuner. Well, did you have good fuel? Did you change your oil all the time? Were you data logging? Guys, data logging is very important. I don't think people realize how important data logging is. It's very important. If the car's not running right, park it. Park it, park it, park it. Don't just go drive around and think it'll be okay and it'll work itself out. If something's not working right, like when my car wasn't going in reverse the other day, I knew exactly that there's something in the turbo transmission, the Turbo 400, that was not working. And lo and behold, it was a wire that was corroded. So there's no glitches. I mean, sometimes you get a glitch here and there, but for the most part, something's actually wrong when something's not working properly. So you guys enjoy these pictures of the motor. That's the breakdown of it. It was in really good condition. Everything was clean. Nothing was burnt in there. Nothing was broken. Nothing was cracked. Oil pump gears looked good. We could have kept sending it, but I think we pulled it at the right time. Huge shout out to Will, RPG Engines, for doing that. You guys hit him up if you need any Coyote motors done. He is awesome. Quick turnaround, really good prices, and he's just an awesome overall guy. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, we've got the other side of the turbo coming in. Hopefully the motor's back in the next week, maybe 2 weeks at the longest, and we can really get going on this project because we are trying to get ready for TX2K. We've got a whole new setup going in the car. We're trying to go a lot faster, and we don't have very much time. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. As always, comment down below, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys on the next one.